This episode of Film Riot is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on Film Riot, we diffuse some shit. Welcome to Film Riot, the show that takes the mystery out of the effects and techniques, going to some of your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and last week we had some shots of the Phantom 3, which had a few people asking me if we were using a more expensive camera to get those, and the answer is no. We're using our C100 as always, but the difference in quality is due to shooting at the right time of day and with diffusion. So today we're looking at using diffusion to make the sun calm the down.
Whoa.
And a few tools that you can use to help with that, including a DIY project.
You need to clean up your
You need to clean up yours. First thing we're going to look at is my 8x8 butterfly frame. I got this one from Digital Juice, and though it isn't super cheap, it's about $650 on B&H Photo. For what it is a great price, and I especially love how travel friendly it is. The whole thing comes in these two bags, and here we have the main frame, which unfolds like so. Then it has locking points along each side to keep it as a solid frame. Then in this bag you have black fabric and a white one. We'll be using the white for diffusion this time around. The black is for negative fill and for blocking light, which I plan to get into in another episode. But we take the white solid and attach it to the frame by first connecting each corner with the elastic bands that are attached to the white fabric. Then we take these bungees, which come with the kit, and secure the rest of it along the frame by going through the holes that are around the frames with those bungees. And we have it set, which is pretty huge once you get it up. And now that it is, we have to keep it up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Why?
You're definitely gonna have to reword that.
Why? But now that we have the whole thing built, we have to keep it standing on its own.
Better.
So now we have these C-stand brackets here, which come with the kit. They clamp down onto the sides here, screw down, and then you can attach to a C-stand like so. Then after you add sandbags to the C-stands for security, you have your complete setup. But even with the sandbags, I like to keep someone manning either side of these just in case there's any wind. These bastards are like sails, so better be safe than sorry. But now with all that built out, we can get a subject in front of it to soften the shit out of the sun. It's good loving. Here it is with the diffusion and then without, and even when we adjust the exposure to match each shot, without the diffusion, we're getting a pretty harsh and unpleasant light, but with, we get more of a soft light that feels more dialed in. And like I said before, this thing is massive, so you can get wider shots while still covering the area you need to, and of course, you can also do some sexy Bond girl style dances behind it.
Let's get it started, boy. You know you want it all right. You know you want it, we're the party.
Another great type of diffusion is this guy, my Flex Diffusion. I got this one from Digital Juice as well, but there are plenty of places you can get the same thing. And no, Digital Juice has nothing to do with this episode. I bought both of these things on my own with my own monies. But you can do the exact same thing with this guy that you can do with the frame. You just aren't getting as much area covered, and you don't have that solid frame to hold it where it needs to be. But it is the most convenient travel diffusion I have. I don't go anywhere without this one, so I highly suggest getting something of this kind for your own gear kit. And again, here's a shot with this guy, and then without. Same sort of quality as the other, just a different sort of tool for the same job. And this one is very affordable too, $150 for just the diffusion or $200 for the full kit that I've shown you guys before. But what if you don't have the cash for that? No problem. For about 10 or 15 bucks, you can make a solid diffusion frame yourself, which we're gonna build right after I change my shirt and do some sponsor love. Domain.com, .club, scavenger hunt, you know what I'm talking about. We are more than halfway through this, and I'm about to give you the next clue to get you back on track and headed toward the finish line. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a digital scavenger hunt going on right now, and thanks to Domain.com and .club, we are giving away a 128 gigabyte iPad and a GoPro Hero 4. So if you want to jump in on it, go to this episode right here, check out the ad, it has the explanation in there, and then go to this site right here for the rules and your first clue, since you have to start from the beginning or none of this will make sense, including the clue I'm about to give. But now, for those of you who did make it through the first group of clues, the second part of the clue that you need was, what was Josh eating? .club. So the website you need to get to for the next clue is going to be the name of whatever Josh was eating. .club. So if he was eating apples, for instance, it would be apples.club, which he wasn't. So again, the name of the food, plural, of course, so it would be apples, not apple, or hot dogs, not hot dog, then .club. If you got through the first grouping of clues, you've seen the video and you know what I'm talking about. Everyone else, move faster. Of course, don't forget to get yourself a .club domain name too. They're $9.99 a year, understood globally and perfect for any business or film site, and use the coupon code FilmRiot to make it even cheaper with 25% off your order. And when you think domain names, think domain.com.
Logo.
So again, if you don't want to spend a ton of cash on Diffusion, there is a simple DIY build that you can get started. First, you're going to need 4 pieces of 3/4 inch PVC. I got pre-cut 5-foot pieces, but you can do whatever size you'd like. Then we need 4 3/4 inch PVC elbows, a sheet, and something to sew with. First, we build our frames by connecting the pipes together using the elbows. Then once we have the frame built, we'll throw the sheet underneath it and we'll fold each edge over and measure. We want to create a loop that the pipe can fit through freely. On 2 of the ends, we're going to have to cut the sheet down to size to be folded over, but again, making marks and pinning the sheet in place so we know where to do our sewing later. We're also making sure to fold the edges where the pipes meet to leave an opening that we'll use later. Now we can remove the pipes from the sheet and sew the loops closed. I had my costume designer do this for me because I'm horrible at sewing and I would likely sew my finger to the sheet. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can always just staple the loop shut, but once all the loops are secure, we can take the sheet back with the frame, take it apart again, and we can push the pipes through each loop and reconnect them using the elbows that we left the openings for. Once we've got all the sides together, we have a solid 5x5 diffusion frame. You can easily mount this to a C-stand using just a lollipop or some other grip tool, and this guy can do the same job as the more pricey purchase tools we showed before. It's not as solid, of course, but it is still incredibly handy. So here's an example using it, getting just as good quality as when we had something that cost $635 more. So once again, with a little creativity and time, you can do anything the pros do, even without a budget. But another great thing about this DIY build is that we're not gluing the pipes together, so we can easily take it apart for transport. So just like the butterfly frame, you can get a bag for this guy and have everything you need in one easy carrying case. And then you can paint all the pipes black if you'd like, and then you have something that looks good too.
Logo.
But that's it for today. As always, you can connect with me on the Twitters right here, and I'll see you all next week when a disembodied voice calls me and guesses what I hold in my hand is chapstick.